right, good morning. Ooh, the feathers are flowing. I don't know why I felt guided to put the feather out. And look, this card from a different deck is in there, Seven of Swords, and it's hidden in the deck I'm using today. Interesting. All right, well, I guess we're going to start early. Welcome to my channel. My name is Abby. I'm the Oddest Oracle. I'm here to do a tarot reading for you today. We're gonna fly by the seat of our pants today. Actually, we're gonna see what comes out. So as opposed to having a formal spread, I'm just gonna kind of ask questions, and you guys can see the cards and let me know what you think. 3 disclaimers. Whatever happens in the reading is a part of the reading, including things like misspeaks and sound issues and stuff like that. Use it as a metaphor for the message itself. Don't take anything that doesn't resonate with you. We don't need to be activated by a tarot reading on YouTube. We can just observe and accept the information or not. And like and subscribe and all those fun things if you want to come back for more. And without further ado, let's get into it. All right, Spirit, tell me about who we're reading for today. What is the energy? Oh, okay. This is why we're doing it this way. What do I need to read about? Who do I need to read about? This may not be for the actual viewer, but for somebody in their life. So who do I need to read about? Not necessarily for. Who do I need to read about? Can you give me a card for their energy, Spirit? Okay, thank you. 2 of Pentacles. Okay, this is just silly. So if you watched the reading yesterday, that was the same thing. So I'm assuming some of you are back today, also still struggling with the decision, or we're going to learn about these 2 options today, which may be a continuation of the reading yesterday. So that's what I want to ask. Spirit, can you tell me what the 2 Pentacles are in this 2 of Pentacles for the... Okay, thank you very much. Good grief. Okay, we have the 2 of Wands. Oh, let's do it like this. We have the 2 of Wands and the Judgment card. Okay. Well, this is like, this is interesting because if we have the 2 of Pentacles, we're being split. It's like a road, a path diverges in a yellow wood, or so, you know, was that Robert Frost? Something like that. Okay, so the 2 paths we have are judgment, so a karmic rebalancing, like this picture right here. Actually, I love this for the judgment card anyway, because it's Anubis weighing a heart against a feather. So this really is a card in this deck especially that depicts a type of karmic judgment. Or we have expectation or seeking what are we seeking, Spirit? 4 of Wands, a celebration, a structure, stability. Notice here we've got 2 wands. Let's clarify the judgment card. Judging a lack of reciprocity. It looks like you are being given an opportunity, whoever's watching this, are being given an opportunity to call judgment or build something, which is pretty heavy. Like, that's a pretty weighty task, right? Like, at least for me. So I'll speak from my personal experience. The idea of being responsible for delivering karma or sealing it is the word I'm getting. Sealing karma feels very heady. It doesn't feel like, because I'm biased, because my ego's been hurt, because my feelings have been hurt, especially by people who I may perhaps be tasked to call judgment with. And maybe that's something you're dealing with too. I really don't see an alternative for this. So I want you to use good discernment and good judgment, and even research what cards mean if you're confused. I'm going to talk about them in the context of this reading, though. So, Spirit, let's get some more cards out. Can you tell me, let's see, what is this lack of reciprocity with the 6 of Pentacles in reverse? What's the lack of reciprocity? Let's try to narrow this down a little bit. What's the lack of reciprocity, Spirit? 3 of Cups, with a friendship or a partnership, a group of people of some kind. Could be a third party, right? If we're going in a relationship sense, this could be a situation where you're being given an opportunity to call judgment on somebody who had a third party. I don't typically read those readings, and I'll tell you why, whether you want to know or not. I don't typically do super, I guess, like typical tarot readings, which is not a dig, it's just a personal opinion. Because even if you're in a type of a situation where you could call judgment on a third party because this person, right? Even if that's what we're looking at, this is a symptom of a bigger issue or of a deeper issue. Maybe not bigger, but a deeper issue, right? Because I say this with addicts all the time too. Happy people don't need to consume things like that. Happy people don't need to, and that is, oh, I can hear it now. That is not to say, oh, I didn't keep this person happy. That's another type of unhealthy perspective on this. It's not your job to make another person happy. I guess we're going with the cheating thing because that's what's feeling like it's coming out. It's not your job to make another person happy. But we're also not going to pretend that somebody who feels satisfied with and in themselves needs to seek certain types of things, such as drinks, such as third parties or extracurricular activities, perhaps is a better way to do it. Again, that doesn't mean that the job of that person's partner is to keep them happy at all costs. That's unhealthy too. That's not your job. But when somebody is satisfied, they're not hungry. So, and that person who is hungry in this example needs to seek that satisfaction for themselves in a way that doesn't hurt people. So I want to be very clear. There's no excusing certain types of behavior or the pain that ripples out because of it. But we also can't pretend like we are not all people with our own crosses to bear. Not my favorite term, but it came to mind. It's pretty intense. I feel the passion for whoever's, like, I feel it. It's all right. There's no judgment here from me. We are laying out cards and I'm telling you what I'm seeing, hearing, and feeling, okay? Let's clarify this wand activity over there. So typically the Three of Wands is the card that in my mind is, or like in my practice, is linked to expectation, right? The Two of Wands is like the ask. The Three of Wands is waiting the ships come in, especially in the Rider-Waite deck. You'll see the guy standing at the cliffside looking over the sea, waiting for his ships to come in, right? So the Two of Wands is the ask, right? We're either going to call judgment or ask for stability. This is a very interesting thing. Part of me is going, is this a type of maturity to be able to have some sort of weird group activity here and still consider this an option? And are they considering it an option, Spirit? The Queen of Cups. Yes, you are considering it an option. Okay, so what's stopping you? Let's get a card. What is the block? And we're going to put that right here because I want to see how these things interplay. I think the layout of the cards is going to be pretty important today. What's the block? What is keeping the collective from making this decision? The Hanged Man. You're getting perspective. Clarify the Hanged Man. The High Priestess. You don't know. You're getting perspective because you don't know. Don't know what? Well, you do know. Well, hold on. Because if we have the High Priestess in reverse and the Seven of Cups in reverse, right? So, for example, if I saw the High Priestess in reverse and the Seven of Cups, I would think, you don't know because you're confused. But you're not confused. So why don't you know? Five of Pentacles. Shame. Okay. All right. It's just K-pop demon hunters. Just patterns and awesome music. It's just coming to... Okay, so we got to talk about this shame situation. What are you ashamed about? Your victory. Your victory over what? Ignoring an option. What option? A decision. There's that Two of Swords from yesterday. I find it really interesting where I'm using the same deck as yesterday, which is not something I typically do. And we're seeing almost, it really feels like a continuation in some capacity of the story from yesterday. You're not confused, but you're ashamed because you're ashamed, you don't know, because you don't know, you're getting perspective. But when will this perspective be enough, right? It looks like you have a lot of information here. So what are you waiting for? What do you need perspective on? Knight of Swords in reverse. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Seven of Wands. Okay, you're defensive. You don't feel like you're materially stable, whether that's money, house, car, job, food. You know, there's a level of personal insecurity here. And then the Knight of Swords in reverse. This is, I'm getting, this is not always, excuse me, it's not always the case with the Knight of Swords, but in this context, I'm getting this like mental fog between the Two of Swords in reverse and the Knight of Swords in reverse. So, and you're defensive about it. And that's okay. Like, I want to be very clear. Defensiveness is how we protect ourselves. But what are you protecting yourself from? Because I think that's important. Okay, you're protecting yourself from being foolish and moving forward before you're ready, which I think we can establish with the Hanged Man. Okay. Let's get some of these message cards. I really felt like these did a lot yesterday. They really cleared some things up. So I want to get some message cards about this. This is a lot of thinking for something you already... Look how simple this is. And look how complicated this is. But this is kind of, as I'm reading this, this is like a subconscious mess, right? Like we're working through this sort of thing. But I want you to know, I'm feeling guided to remind you, like, this is still an option. In whatever way that that applies for you, is calling judgment on a lack of reciprocity within a friend group. And that is okay. Or a group of people in general, right? And when I say lack of reciprocity, it doesn't have to be money for money, or money for things, or even money for time. There is an energetic reciprocity. We don't all give in the same way. We don't all take, like, receive in the same way. But we do all deserve to be in groups or quote-unquote tribes or relationships where we're serving one another, where it's like communal serving. And I'm getting this like very much a lemniscat like imagery of not the snake eating its own tail, but an energy loop, like infinities feeding into one another. It's very like flowy, but it stops right here. It stops right here. Okay. All right, Spirit, let's get a couple of messages. Let's go ahead and clarify this top section, this like conscious section. Can you give me a card, a message for that, please? Villain origin stories often mirror those of heroes. All right, let's clarify this bottom part. So, interesting. Yesterday, I had eunoia as a word that came through. This is the actual new moon one. I found that very interesting. Eunoia, for the record, means like something beautiful. My understanding of how to pronounce this is Numania, right? New moon, right? Which we had. Clarifies Two of Pentacles. Time is a spiral. Okay, so you've been here before. To some degree, bigger or smaller, heavier or lighter. Interesting with the feather reference on the Judgment card. You've been here before. Maybe not exactly, but definitely in a way that you recognize this feeling. Clarify this Five of Pentacles. Grounded to your room. Okay. Yeah. Grounded in the sense that if it's cold where you are, you can't really go be like bare feet on grass, head in the clouds, or, you know, like looking up at the sky or whatever. However, there is a way for you to get grounded. As a Taurus moon, I'm big on touching things, right? So like doing dishes is a good way. You've got the flowing of the water. You've got something to do with your hands. Folding clothes. I know these are house chores. They're boring, but they are also like it's a twofer, right? Like you get to ground yourself into the present and be with your life. And also you can kind of work through, you know, okay. When I am in a place where I need to be grounded, I forego earthly tasks because I don't care about them, because the universe feels bigger because it is. However, as above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. So something that may work for somebody here is when you move energy around your house or around your day-to-day life, you will feel that energy move within your mind, and it may help you come unstuck from this High Priestess, Hanged Man, I don't know, but I know I'm not confused, but I don't know, and so I need more perspective. Which, listen, this is, I'm not confused, but I don't know, so I need more perspective, is actually, to me, it's like a pretty mature way to handle it, right? I'm not confused about the values that matter to me, but I still am unsure, and I want to make sure I'm sure. So rather than, let's see, like King of Wands, this or something like that, I'm going to take a perspective of getting perspective, right? I'd like to note again, over here, your block, right? Major arcanas. This choice, major arcana. These are the heftier experiences of soul growth. All right. I want to clarify this Hanged Man. I'd like to understand more about, let's see, like, what are you seeing, or what are you, because if you're in the Hanged Man position and you're upside down on the tree of life and you're getting a new perspective from a different angle, you are taking in information. And because you've almost like tricked your brain not to be able to just ignore small details that feel unnecessary, you're taking in more information. It can be quite overwhelming to be on the tree of life, regardless of what people say. I know some people view it as a card of rest. For me, it's definitely links in with an Eight of Swords sometimes if you're not careful about balancing that. And that may be something for someone also. Mind of Broken Glass. Oh, darling. Okay. All right, we're going to get some more. I want to know more about this Mind of Broken Glass. What? Because we're getting this villain origin stories mirror those of heroes. What are you trying to... So are we deciding between being the hero and the villain? And you've been here before. Interesting. That's pretty fascinating. Mind of Broken Glass. Let's clarify that card, please, Spirit. The Tower in reverse. You're avoiding it. You can't perspective your way out of something that's not built to last. You can't high priestess your way out of something with a foundation built on sand. And that is just simply the truth. And I'm hearing the quote, if it can be destroyed by the truth, then let it be destroyed by the truth. If it can be, then let it. Clarify this Numenia. The Hermit. Yeah. Look, it's even dark in here in this card. The new moon. This is a time of like darkness. Also, there may be something about a void of course moon. That may be some. It's just coming to my mind right now. All right, let's clarify. Time is a spiral. The King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles or the Two of Pentacles. But look at that. Big one, little one, little one. All right, Spirit, I'd like to get some advice for this collective. What is the advice you've got for this collective? What is their next step? We can't eat this all at once. Let's take a bite. What's the next step for this collective based on this reading? Death in reverse. Rebirth. What's your obstacle? Feeling stuck. What's your support? Two of Cups in reverse. You're not bound by anything. You're not bound here. You may feel stuck. The Eight of Swords didn't come out, but you may feel stuck. Let's see. Page of Wands. You are not bound here. I find it interesting that all of these in this like advice section right here are in reverse. Maybe you're being mirrored. Maybe you're mirroring someone. Page of Wands, Two of Cups, Chariot, and the Death. Bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Cups in reverse. This is not a popular interpretation of this card, but within this reading, I hate to say it, Lovers, yeah. This is narky, okay? Nobody's going to like it. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a professional. I can't diagnose somebody, but I can identify, like, what narky behavior is, okay? And the way that that relates to the tarot is the aces are potential. And that's very much what people who are in that energy, whether they are clinically diagnosed or going through a time where that's who they are right now, because nothing stays the same. There's a, what is they call, like, future faking. There's a seed here. That's what the aces are. The aces are the seed, right? But but it's not real. Is that you or is that them? King of Cups, that's them. Because look, you have the King of Pentacles here. King of Cups in reverse, Ace of Cups in reverse, Page of Wands. This is not the transformation you think it is. Listen, far be it for me to tell you what to do with your life, and I want you to make good choices and choose the thing that is going to, that you feel most connected to. Use your intuition, use your guidance, talk to your ancestors, your higher self, journal, ground, meditate, call judgment on this shit. I'm sorry, just call judgment on it. Look at all of this when the answer is kind of right here and you have the ability to do it. So why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? What would keep you? Four of Pentacles in reverse. You're too giving. The Nine of Cups. You don't know how to feel. Five of Wands. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. Which is funny because look at this mess. All right, let's get a final card. I'm just going to pull from this. It's like, I'm going to call it a Roma deck. That's not what you would find it on if you're going to buy it. But I like it because it's a little simple. Let's get a final card or two for this collective about this reading. With some closing messages so we can understand a little bit better. Oh, gosh. Okay. Thank you. Oof. All right, guys. Misfortune, consolation, scholar, foe. This always goes with the Tower for me. This always reminds me of the Hierophant. It's not. It's a different, but it always reminds me of the Hierophant. And I'm feeling like this is going here with this Three of Cups. The Judgment is the consolation. The scholar is who you become after your time is the Hermit. All right. Can I get a timing for this? I'm going to use this other deck. I'd like a timing for this, please. Something for timing. These are zodiac signs and houses and stuff. So you can take this as a perfection year. You can take it as a season. You can take it as a moon phase. It's going to be personal for you, but I want to get some kind of indication. Now we have the new moon out here. That's interesting. I'm getting this something about like you can't see the moon, so you think it's not there, but it's just hiding. What does the moon do? The moon reflects the sun. Who is the sun? You are. You think it's hiding, but it's just, or you think it's not there. Interesting. You think it's not there, but it's just hiding. Or you just can't see it. All right. Ooh, all right. So this could indicate right now, because as we know, I've talked about Taurus a little bit here. I mentioned the Hierophant, which is a Taurus card, and we have the King of Pentacles. Uranus is back in, it's retrograding into Taurus right now. And that's where it's been since like 2018. So definitely think about maybe something that's been going on since 2018. Sky above. Interesting. I want one more. I just want all the cards. Okay, and right now Mercury is also in retrograde. So I'm thinking this is definitely between these two and the new moon card. This is a thing that's going on either right now. I mean, you could be reflecting on a past section of your life, but this is a right now thing. Well, I guess if there's any consolation here, it's that there is nothing new under the sun. I had a friend say, there's nothing new under the sun, but we can act like it. Which, given this time is a spiral thing, you've been here before. Maybe you needed to hear that. You've been here before. All right, let's get some charms. I just like the charms. They sound great. They're fun. It's a heavy bag. It's good times. Again, Taurus. These are going to be things that will either click with you. I'm also going to show you how I'm shaking this because we've had a lot of repeat cards this reading, and I would like to be a little thorough about it, all right? We're just going to grab a handful, or not a handful. When I worked at Taco Bell, they would call these 3 fingers full of 3 cheese. 3 cheese. All right, let's move on. Sorry. We got a lot of crosses this time, so maybe something RE, religion, faith, spirituality, deconstruction, home life. We have a shark's tooth. I don't even know how that got in there. This is not mine. I don't have any memory of this. Where did this come from? That is a full-blown shark's tooth. Wrapped in wire. Maybe fishing, maybe the ocean. Forever. It's a peacock. It's a snowflake. I know all my millennials love a snowflake. We just love it. There's a horseshoe, and it looks like, or horseshoe, what? A seahorse, and it looks like it's biting a star. That's so interesting. And I dropped a star. All of this may mean something for you. I cannot get that out of there. Wild. I guess it's staying. There's a ornate heart, like a filigree heart, I guess. This was yesterday too. Namaste, relax. Blessed. And another cross. What's going on? What's going on with the crosses? All right, that's what I have for you. I appreciate you guys being here so much. I hope you will comment and like on the video, comment on the video and like it if you do. We'll see you next time, and thank you for letting me read for you.